really the reason why I started STEM NOLA was my wife and I have my wife Tracy and I have two beautiful sons. Then in the third grade, my son came home and he said, Daddy, I don't like science anymore. I said, boy, you must be out your mind. It's in your DNA. I said, when your mama was listening to that crazy classical music, I was whispering Newton's 4 laws to her stomach. So it's in your DNA. He said, no, Daddy, the teacher just talked to the board and I like to do stuff with my hands. And I looked at my son and said, we got to do something about this. I realized I was losing my son, right? I mean, I'm a scientist and an engineer, a researcher, and he's telling me now he doesn't like this in the third grade. So this is what privilege is. Since I was a person of means, I went in the garage, I cleaned my garage out, I got online, I started ordering all these different kits. Since I was an engineer, every Saturday we would sit in the garage and start doing all these hands-on materials and these hands-on activities. And before you know it, my other son came out. Before you know it, the kid down the street came. Before you know, they had like 20 kids in the garage on Saturdays. And it became an expecting thing, right? Because the parents like, what time the kid's gonna come on Saturday? And I'm like, look, I'm not doing it this Saturday. The parents upset, the kids upset. But one time my son came home and I said, son, what's your grades? A couple of months later, he said, Daddy, I got all A's. I said, that's what I expected you, son. He said, Daddy, my friends want to know how I know all this. I said, well, did you tell them you do it in the garage with your dad? And he said, yeah, Dad. He said, but my friends need this. And my son realized at that point, Deborah, he was being exposed to somebody and things that his friends were not. And he believed in his heart of hearts, with empathy he must have got from his mom, that if his friends were exposed to those people and things too, they would know the things he knew.
Absolutely.
And right then and there, I realized I'd become like many other people, keeping my time and my talent and my treasure in my house with my two, when I had something bigger to offer the community. If this was doing this for my kids, it was doing it for the kid next door and the kids down the street. What about the kids who live on the other side of town who don't have access to a Dr. Mackie or Tracy Mackie, a pharmacist, or Dr. Griggs, a lawyer? I mean, there's a social capital gap that many children have, and it's not their fault. So my wife and I decided to put up $100,000 of our own dollars. I went out, tried to get money. People wouldn't listen. They just couldn't see the vision. And we did our first event, December 2013, in Joe Brown Recreation Facility in New Orleans East. We prepared for 100 kids, 100 people. And we had over 500 people there. We had over 350 kids and 150 parents. And this was a cold, winter, rainy morning in New Orleans. And 500 people came out to our first little program. And my wife and I, Tracy and I, standing there looking at each other like, what is going on? And since then, now nearly 10 years, on the second Saturday of every month, for the last 10 years, we've had these events in New Orleans.